Greetings, everyone. Peace and love. Over the weekend, I had sat with the lunar eclipse, the full moon in Taurus. And for a very long time, I have been seeing the number 44. As an oracle myself, I get a lot of downloads through numbers, patterns, sequences, um, sacred geometry, and a number of different things. And so 47 have been me very collectively. So I had just Googled, 47 hexagram. And the I-Ching had made itself aware to me that collective oppression is the message for the lunar eclipse. Collective oppression. Although that you may face oppression yourself, the collective is equally facing this oppression. And my oppression is not separate from the collective oppression. The confinement, the bondage, it is not separate. And what we have to understand in this age, this is not a message of helplessness, because I want us to understand, one, the seriousness of it and the true answers that we have to overcome this collective imprisonment and oppression that we're facing. It has become clear now with this lunar eclipse, genocides have been happening for a very long time, and the world is paying attention, and the world is not comfortable with it. But everybody's oppression of seeing this genocide is directly tied into our own imprisonment too. Hence why a lot of people feel helplessness, feeling like they can't change anything. So I'm going to give you some key words according to the I Ching. Oppressed, restricted, exhausted, cut off at the end of your resources, prisons, penal codes, a noble oppressed by a harsh ruler or oppressive duties, worry, fear, anxiety, fatigue, disheartened, weary, the moment of truth, searching within to find the way out. Containing your fear and impulse now gives you the ability to express the spirit in the human community. The heart theme is establishing a new dwelling. Establishing a new dwelling. And what this means, this again, the I Ching was written centuries ago. They suspect ninth century BC. Heart theme, establishing a new dwelling, because according to the voice of the fathers in the I Ching, it says the situation is the wrong people are in positions of authority. Progress is impossible, meaning that if you try to even overthrow this system, guess what? You will be consumed by it. You will be consumed by it. The fathers said setting intentions, keep silent. Why? Because they've already assassinated all the leaders. Anybody that made any announcements about what they were doing, they took them out. Keep silent. Communication and interaction. Negative, don't engage. Rest and seek personal contentment. Meaning meditation, 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 mindfulness, shadow work. Why? Because the next step that you'll be facing in transforming lines is, right, coming together of some sort. So I'm going to read the transforming line so that people can understand what this means for us. Step one, beginnings. This return of the spirit attracts a new fate. Buttocks punished with a wooden rod. If you enter the shadowy gully now, you'll enter no one for 3 years. What that means is that if you are consumed by this darkness and this pain and this frustration that you're feeling, this helplessness that you're feeling, you're only going to multiply it from here on out, which means that as a being of God, it is your responsibility not only for yourself, but for everybody else, because we are responsible for each other's ascension. I don't care what anybody tells you today. All of us are responsible for each other's ascension. That is a spirituality cop out. We have to work together. On a personal level, you cannot be consumed with fear. Fear of being homeless, fear of losing materialism, fear of this, fear of that, fear of people coming after you. Why? Because they are terrified of us coming together. Yes, I understand. You're feeling down, weakened, deprived, upset, exhausted. But the reality is, so many of us are feeling this. You came in here with nothing and you'll leave with nothing. That's how they have it set up. None of it was meant for you to own anything anyway. So guess what? You can't be consumed about the darkness. You can't be consumed about loss. You can't be consumed about this system collapsing. You can't be consumed about corrupt authorities. This is out of your hands, meaning that in order for you to transform, you got to work through the inner world. Put yourself in order again. You can connect with the source of human values. If you stir up sorrow, then there will be sorrowing. Have no fear. You will soon find support of friends. Gather energy for the decisive new move, meaning that when you do your shadow work, energy attracts energy, and that's necessary for the next step. Step two, inner center. This inner reorganization leads to harmony with others. Confined and oppressed at food and drink. Listen very carefully. I broke this down on Instagram Live earlier today, and I've said it a couple of times and mentioned it many times to people over the past few months. Everything in this reality, why we do it, is centered around food. That's the first thing that we're enslaved by, is the food and the water. Originally, our human design was not designed to be dependent on the food and the water. There was the first order broken by the first man and woman, allegedly, Adam and Eve. Allegedly. The first order was that they ate from the tree. They were Breatharian, solitarian. And so that in itself corrupts the body because now you're in mother's matrix. You become a part of her because you're consuming her. God said, be in the world, but not of the world. So consuming anything on the trees is being of the world. We were originally solitarian. However, we've gotten away from a lot of that. And remember, the I-Ching was written allegedly 9th century BC. You're confined and oppressed at the food and drink. Why do you think they control 98% of the food? Think about your home and your layout. The kitchen is where you store food, where you cook food, where you process foods, where you have utensils where you can eat, where you can wash and clean up after yourself. You have a living room where you can eat the food, tables that you have to buy so you can eat at the table. All the things in your house that you buy are designed to make sure everything is clean so it doesn't get dirtied up by the food. The other thing, why do you have a living room? So you can rest. So you can rest. Spend time with family members after you've been working all day so that you can do what? Eat your food because you don't want to starve. Why do you have a bathroom so that you can release the food that you ate? Remember, you have to shower because it's the food inside of you that's making you stink. So you have to watch yourself. The food that you're eating is making you tired. So you need a bedroom to lay down, to rest. You need a garage and a parking lot so that you can park your car because you need to go back and forth to get groceries to eat. To eat. to go to back and forth to work so that you can eat, have a shelter so that you can store your food, you can eat your food, you can lay down, watch your television, be brainwashed, consumed, wash up after yourself after you've excreted the food in the waste. It's all tied together. The elders were wise. They told you that you were consumed and oppressed at the food and drink. And the reason why we're facing this collective oppression is because they didn't say sex, they didn't say drugs, they said food and drink is what you are oppressed by. That is the number one industry. That's the number one industry they control is what you consume. So the next step is you have to be advantageous to make presentations to your ideas. Chastisement closes the way. This is not a mistake. You ostensibly have all you need, but you feel oppressed by lack of recognition. You feel oppressed by who? Lack of recognition. Recognition from who? Your leaders. They don't hear you. They don't care about you. Your government. They don't hear you. They don't care about you. But it says help is on the way. Hold on to your ideas and extend the gathering. Gathering meaning we all have to come together. Remember, the heart theme for 47 hexagram is create the new dwelling. How do you create the new dwelling? The dwelling is the system, the structure, the foundation that we all are attached to. We have to create a new one. You can't just go up in somebody else's house and try to tear down their government, their structure, their foundation, their inner workings. That's not how this works. And the ancestors knew this in the I-Ching. That's what they're telling you. You do your shadow work first in step one, then help will be on the way. Hold on to your ideas and extend the gathering. This will lead to great works. Climb the steps and open your heart anew. You can clear the source of common good. Proceed step by step. Gather energy for a decisive new move. 45 gathering. You read the 45 gathering hexagram. The circle of meanings is gather, assemble, collect resources, bunch or call together, meaning we all have to come together to get out of this collective oppression. Concentrate, collect, unite, inspire fellow beings, come to someone's aid, crowds, multitudes, dense vegetation, meaning that we have to grow our own food because we are what? Oppressed by our dependency on this food, and they know it. They know it. Crowds, multitudes, dense vegetation, a time when great efforts bring a great reward. Inner devotion and commitment, meaning meditation, prayer, chanting, sacrifices, offerings, now gives you the ability to express the spirit in the human community. This is what this means. And when you get into the community level, you will get an opportunity to speak out about what you want to do, what you don't want to do, where you can be of service to the community, where you may not be of service to the community. But you're not going to be of service to anybody if you can't be of service to self. If you continuously put yourself down, if you continuously are consumed by the negativity, the negative self chatter, you're consumed by what the entities or energies around you tell you. This is a frequency war. This is a spiritual war. And you cannot be consumed by whatever the outer reality is doing. Remember, as a projector and a master manifester of your reality, guess what? There's going to be a delay in blessings. How you feel internally and what you are internally may not reflect what's going on in the external. And because of that, you don't want to be consumed by the depression because the inner world cannot keep up. I'm sorry, the external world cannot keep up with the internal feelings. It does not mean that the internal world is deficit or irrelevant. It just means that, honey, the external reality is too slow for you. You're the one that's moving fast, but that doesn't mean that you give in and you crawl yourself into a hole. Pick yourself up. We cannot afford right now in this moment for you to give up. Step three, the inner rebalancing lets you make your way in life. Confined and oppressed by stones, you grasp by thorn vines. Mm, you grasp the thorn vines. What is the crown? The crown, thorn vines. You enter your palace and you do not see your consort. Trapped, the way closes. You are beating yourself up against impossible obstacles, grasping at things that hurt you. You cannot even see your partner who is eager to help. The structure of your life is buckling, meaning that you may lose everything in the reality, and that's okay. It says, do not be trapped in this pitfall. Sacrifice the old and let in the hidden connections. If you do not add more, your life will soon be crowned anew. Do not be afraid to act alone, meaning do not be afraid to go within on your own. You are connected to a creative force, the absolute, unlimited, supreme, infinite consciousness. That's what you are. That's what you're connected to. So you'll never truly be alone in your journey. We all, whether you are or not, I get it. Everybody's like, man, I have to go to work. I got to do this. I got to do that. I understand it. I do. People don't want to be out on the street. I get it. But we're coming to a point where it's an ugly truth that we're a part to. It's the truth is revealing itself in very ugly ways. Birth of new earth is chaotic. Birth in general is chaotic. The screaming, pushing, huffing, puffing, crying, sad, happy at the same time, worry, fear, anxiety. All these are emotions of restriction. The woman is she has what? Contractions. She's confined to a bed right now until she can give birth. The outer world. Step four, arrival. This inner preparation leads to what is greater. Confined and oppressed in a bronze war chariot. It comes slowly, slowly, distressed, but there will be completion. There will be completion. You are confined by oppressive duties and burdensome thoughts. Don't give in to the thoughts. Don't give in to the thoughts. The solution to your problems will arrive slowly. It will take a change of heart to recognize it. Do not be trapped in collective opinions. Sacrifice the old and let in the hidden bonds. Let's go back to don't be trapped in collective opinions. Don't be contract or consumed by collective doubt, worry, resentment, fear. Don't be consumed by collective opinions. Go within to find the way without. The connection of the common source is valued and distributed. The connection to the common source of value is distributed. I'm sorry, hold on. I read that wrong. The connection to the common source of value is disturbed. Move on and you can share your gifts. Be open and provide what is needed. The connection to the common source of value is disturbed. Common source of value now, you'll start to see our common source, what we value, is in for a disruption. Value going to work, buying a house, keeping your house, keeping your cars, keeping your comfortability. That is disturbed. That's disturbed. It's disrupted. It's dysfunctioning. It's uncomfortable to know that you are one going through this collectively. And you're going through this collectively for a reason, right? So this is something where you have to pay more close attention to what am I contributing? What am I contributing to? Right? So I was watching a TikTok of a lady where she was saying, I can't pay taxes. I can't contribute to this. I can't contribute to that. I can't do all these things anymore. Knowing that my taxpayer dollars is going to wars and genocides. This is what it's come down to. The contracts that I'm in is, she feeling like, oh, I can't do this anymore. She said, I don't care if I go to jail, they come get me or whatever. I don't want to fight these wars. I don't want to contribute to this. It's all being disrupted and disturbed. Move on from that. And then you'll be able to share your gifts with the community. Be open to provide what is needed. Step 5, outer center. The inner is regrouping, lets your real purpose shine. Your nose is cut, meaning that you may not know what's going on. Your feet is cut, meaning you don't really know where to go. Oppressed by the crimson sachet. Slowly, this will be loosened, advantageous to make offerings to your ideas. You are being oppressed by corrupt authorities. As your bitter feelings loosen, you will be set free, meaning that revenge is not the way to go. Remember, this is a frequency. This is a frequency war. As we lift our vibration and frequency up, we will be set free. Retaliation and battle is not the way. It's not the way. Concentrate on your ideas. Though you confront many difficulties, this is not your fault. The source of common value has been corrupted by those who seek only their own gain. Prepare yourself through inner work. Inner work. These comings and goings release energy now bound up in the past. Cooperate with the ongoing process of change. I would encourage you now for this one to read 40 Hexagram 40 Deliverance and Liberation. Step 6. Culmination, this inner stripping leads to a breakthrough. Letting go of what holds you down internally. Confined and oppressed by trailing creepers, you trip on tree trunks. Say it like this: if you stir up the causes of sorrow, then there will be sorrowing. Do not give in to the sorrowing. Chastising opens the way. This seeming oppression should not even bother you. If you sit around and lament, then all you will hear is lamentation. You are contesting for mastery in a corrupt situation, and you simply cannot win. The source of common good is like an old, neglected well. Activate your energy and accept the heavy going. It's going to be tough, but you will find supportive friends and prepare for the decisive new moon. I mean, new moon. So that's the message. Voice of the Mother said, you are oppressed by conventional ideas. Do not trust what people are telling you. You have to go within, search within to find a way out. Containing your fear and impulse now gives you the ability to express the spirit in the human community. Regroup your own thoughts and you'll find new spiritual kin, meaning that you'll find the people in on your frequency that are just like you. Do not try to reform the corruption of authority, meaning that you do not tear down these people's houses. The heart theme, remember, is 37, establishing a new dwelling, creating a new system. Right? So that's the message I have for the lunar eclipse. That is the message that I have for the lunar eclipse that came to me like a ton of bricks. I cried. I said, "Oh my God, this is something I'm going through. This is something that the collective is going through. This is the collective oppression that we're all dealing with." And this was the message that came clear to me. And I have to be able to channel this so that we understand exactly what's going on. It is essential. This is This is elder wisdom. This has been here for centuries. This was written 9th BC, not 9th century BC. This is they laid it out for you. The way in or the way out is the way in. It's not tearing down these people's house. You have to create your own house. Everybody, I will talk to you all soon. Stay posted if you need anything, if you need any readings, if you need any channelings, um, you need any assistance with trying to find your footing with this new system that we have to create. Send me a DM. Peace and love. I will talk to you all soon. Take care and remember, you got this.